Today I'll be going over two exercises for self-compassion. Exercise 1. How do you react? How do you react to yourself and your life? How do you typically react to yourself? What types of things do you typically judge and criticize yourself for? Appearance, career, relationships, parenting, and so on. What type of language do you use with yourself when you notice some flaw or make a mistake? Do you insult yourself, or do you take more kind and understanding tone? If you're highly self-critical, how does this make you feel inside? What are the consequences of being so hard on yourself? Does it make you more motivated, or does it tend to make you discouraged and depressed? How do you think you would feel if you could truly accept yourself exactly as you are? Does this possibility scare you, give you hope, or both? How do you typically react to life difficulties? How do you treat yourself when you run into challenges in your life? Do you tend to ignore the fact that you're suffering and focus exclusively on fixing the problem? Or do you stop to give yourself care and discomfort? Do you tend to get carried away with the drama of difficult situations so that you make a big deal out of them, bigger than you need to? Or do you tend to keep things in balance and perspective? Do you tend to feel cut off from others when things go wrong, with the irrational feelings that everyone else is having a better time than you are? Or do you try to remember that all people experience hardship in their lives? If you feel you lack sufficient self-compassion, check in with yourself. Are you criticizing yourself for this, too? If so, stop there. Try to feel compassion for how difficult it is to be an imperfect person in this extremely competitive society of ours. Our culture does not emphasize self-compassion. It's quite the opposite. We're told that no matter how hard we try, our best just isn't good enough. It's just time for something different. We can all benefit by learning more self-compassionate, and now it is a perfect time to start. So how is all of this relevant to you, the reader or the listener? This and every chapter contains exercises that will help you understand how to continually self-judgment. This and every chapter contains exercises that will help you understand how your continual self-judgment is harming you. There are also exercises to help you develop greater self-compassion so that it becomes a habit in daily life, allowing you to establish a healthier way of relating to yourself. You can determine your precise level of compassion using the self-compassion scale. Go to the website www.selfcompassion.org and click on How Self-Compassionate Are You? After filling out a series of questions, your level of self-compassion will be calculated for you. Exercise 2. Exploring self-compassion through writing. Everybody has something about themselves that they don't like. Something that causes them to feel shame, to feel insecure, or not good enough. It is in our human condition to be imperfect, and feelings of failure and inadequacy are part of the experience of living. Try thinking about an issue that tends to make you feel inadequate, or bad about yourself. Physical appearance, work, relationship issues, etc. How does this aspect of yourself make you feel inside? Scared, depressed, insecure, angry? What emotions come up for you when you think about this aspect of yourself? Please try to be emotionally honest as possible to avoid repressing any feelings, while at the same time not being melodramatic. Try to feel your emotions exactly as they are, no more, no less. Now, think about an imaginary friend who is unconditionally loving, accepting, kind, and compassionate. Imagine that this friend can see all your strengths and all your weaknesses, including the aspect of yourself you just have been thinking about. Reflect upon what this friend feels towards you and how you are loved and accepted exactly as you are, with all your very human imperfections. This friend recognizes the limits of human nature and is kind and forgiving towards you. In his or her great wisdom, this friend understands your life history and the millions of things that have happened to you in your life to create you as you are in this moment. Your particular inadequacy is connected to so many things you didn't necessarily choose. Your genes, your family history, life circumstances, things that were outside your control. Write a letter, write a letter to yourself from the perspective of that imaginary friend, focusing on the perceived inadequacy you tend to judge yourself for. What would this friend say to you about your flaw? From the perspective of unlimited compassion, how would this friend convey the deep compassion he or she feels for you, especially for the discomfort you feel when you judge yourself so harshly? What would this friend write in order to remind you that you are only human and that all people have both strengths and weaknesses? And if you think this friend would suggest possible changes you should make, how would these suggestions embody feelings of unconditional understanding and compassion? As you write to yourself from the perspective of the imaginary friend, try to infuse your letter with a strong sense of personal acceptance, kindness, caring, and desire for your health and happiness. After writing the letter, put it down for a while, then come back and read it again. Really let the words sink in. Feel the compassion as it pours into you, soothing, comforting you like a cool breeze on a hot day. Love, connection, and acceptance are your birthright. To claim that you need only look within yourself. And that's it.